Were Prince Harry and Meghan Markle actually snubbed at the funeral of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh way back in April? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thank you as ever for joining me today, and we are finding freedom in the truth behind the headlines. Now, if you've seen this particular tune that is coming out, basically it's all, well, a very good soap opera read, as I've said many times before on the channel, but this particular segment we wanted to throw light on. Now, in the book it alleges, and I have to say it alleges, that apparently there were several senior members of the British royal family who were quietly pleased that Meghan Markle would not be attending the funeral of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, who sadly passed away at the early part of this year. Now, as you can imagine, that was a fractious time for everybody within the British royal family. And at that point, you would have thought that could have cemented a rekindling of friendship between the once close brothers Harry and William, but sadly not. What actually happened was simply this. There was an open invitation to both ex-royals who decided, of course, to move over to LA to attend the funeral. And publicly what happened was that Meghan Markle, who was expecting her baby daughter at the time, decided not to travel, given the amount of time before birth was due, etc. All very wise for anybody in that particular situation, as you can imagine. But there was a sort of rife speculation going on in the press as to why did she snub it? She didn't snub it. As I say, there was an invitation for both of them to attend. Is that apparently senior members of the British royals felt that by Meghan coming over for the funeral, she may hijack that as something about her. Now, in fairness to Miss Markle, obviously if she'd attended, she couldn't have won the situation. Everybody would have been looking, picking fault, all of that sort of stuff. So I think on this occasion, very wisely, she kept away. After all, this was more about the sadness of our gracious Majesty the Queen, and not a quick photo opportunity or publicity stunt. Very wisely, Prince Harry attended alone and was very respectful and very well received, as we saw in those pictures. This was the situation. There is no proof of that. The only proof lies with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and they did receive an invitation to attend the funeral together of His late Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh. So moving forward, as I always say, if you enjoy these books, they're great fun, but if you want the truth, tune in to this channel daily, where we will tell you exactly how that happened. Now, you may ask the question, how do you know this, Neil? Well, it's very easy to find that sort of information. And royal protocol, even privately, is always listed, and if you know where to look, you can find it. In a situation like that, even though it was a reduced funeral because, of course, of the pandemic and the COVID restrictions, someone as senior as Prince Harry, along with his wife, would have most definitely been invited, and it would have been their choice not to attend. Now, whether they felt they were going to be snubbed, or in fact they were not going to be welcome, you really should have put all of that aside if, of course, you wanted to pay your respects. Meghan Markle, as we know, sent a very nice wreath of organic flowers, which was placed within St. George's Chapel, Windsor. And Her Majesty the Queen was very moved by their nice gesture, of which it was received. So to speculate that nobody actually wanted them there is really totally unfair on both sides. As ever, Neil Sean in the heart of London.